We hear about timeless, classic interior design trends often, but what actually qualifies as timeless? Today we're leaning on an expert who loves creating beautiful homes for her clients and homes that her clients will love for a lifetime. Designer Liz Powell joining me with advice for designing spaces that won't go out of style. Liz, great to have your voice part of Studio 5 today. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to be here.
I love, Liz, that your goal as a designer is to help clients create homes they love and homes they will love for a long time. My question, though, and it's one that I've kind of stumbled into myself the last little while, is there any such thing as true timeless? Like, this decision will never, ever, ever, to quote Taylor Swift, go away, go out of style. Is that possible?
I think it is possible, actually. I think that we accomplish that by using materials that have some history to them and have been around a long time. We've got lots of tips coming up to make sure that you get that timeless look, and those trendy things are just used sparingly, for sure.
Okay, and you talk about the use of trendy things. It's so easy to get caught up in what everyone's loving right now rather than, as you described, what will be in for years to come. But you can mix the best of both worlds, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, you not only can, but you should. I think it's fun to incorporate some really fun things that we're seeing into our homes that we're loving. But we need those staples to really set the tone and to set our home and then we can just add upon those.
So let's dive in. Let's get into what you consider timeless. First up, you say mixed wood tones.
Yeah, mixed wood tones are so important to help us be timeless because trends go warm and cool. They go really dark wood, they go really light wood. And if we're able to mix those, it gives us, as floors go darker, as woods go lighter, if we've got both in our home, it just really extends that. So we're looking for maybe we're doing all our floors in one shade and our beams in one shade, but maybe our cabinetry is a little lighter. So finding different ways to bring in several different tones of wood will just stretch that longevity in our home.
Is there a formula? You say dark versus light. I mean, is there a certain scale of saturation we should be aiming for, or 2 woods per space, 3 woods per space? Any additional guidance you can give us there?
I think you definitely ought to start with 2. 3 starts getting tricky. And so if you don't feel super comfortable doing that, you might want to get a professional's help with that, with adding more. They need to be the same tones. We don't want a really yellow one with a really gray one. So we want to kind of mix those tones, even though they're light and dark. We want those tones to still blend and work together, but still be different.
Another mixing strategy that will tip us toward timeless and classic and love it forever, you say, is mixing metals.
Yeah, mixing metals is so important. If we're just doing one finish in our house, all our doorknobs, all our lights, all our hardware, all of that one finish, it feels very flat and builder grade. So we want it to feel like we've lived in and loved this house forever, and that just magically all works. And mixing metals really does that for us.
Something we're seeing a lot of lately, but you actually say is timeless, are ceiling details.
Yeah, ceiling details are so important. I think it elevates a home. So it's a great way to add if you're trying to elevate your home and make it look nicer, some of those architectural details. But we really want to use ones that match the style of our home. Whether if our home is rustic, then maybe we're doing rustic beams. If it's more traditional, we're using more moldings and coffered ceilings or things like that to really enhance some of that architecture. And that is always timeless.
Next up on your list, neutrals, and more specifically, you say layered neutrals.
Yeah, so we don't want to just be redecorating our house every single minute of the day, every 6 months, every time Target comes out with a new line, right? They're really fun to pull in, but we want some of those staples to just last. And so anything that is expensive and we don't want to buy again, like a nice rug, your couch, your tables, chairs, even drapes, we don't want to replace often. So those things, if we keep those really neutral, then we're able to layer in fun pillows and fun trends here and there without the cost of redesigning our space or putting money into where we don't need to put money into.
So you generally stick with neutrals throughout the homes you design?
I do. And that doesn't mean to have to be boring. Paint can be, we can bring some bright paint, or we can bring some colored paint or artwork or things like that. But as far as your staple pieces, if they could be neutral and just change with whatever else you bring in, that really is helpful.
The final strategy, and this sort of feels like the trump card, right? Like it covers everything, is simply to choose things you love and choose things that bring you joy. Those things, unless you're having a dramatic personality flop throughout your life, those things will never go out of style.
Yeah, for sure. We want our homes to feel like us. We want to feel comfortable in them. We want them to be a reflection of us. So choosing things you love is always it's always the right move.
Yeah. Can you think of an example of a time that you've gone for something that you personally love, or maybe a client has taken a leap on something they love and it's lasted, it's sustained, even though to other people that might seem more like a bold, flashy decision?
Sure. I mean, I can think my coffee table right now. I was driving down the road and someone was cutting down a tree, and I pulled over and asked them for a huge stump, and we finished it, and we just have this huge stump as our coffee table. Now, there's a lot of other like great coffee tables and designer coffee tables and amazing coffee tables we could have, but it tells a story of where we live, of who we are, and so we're making it work, even though maybe in the designer world we might tell someone to do something.
Oh, I love that.
It's ours and we love it. So.
I love that. I would have seen I would have loved to see the look on the face of the homeowner as you pulled over and said, "Hey, can I have that? Can I save you a trip to the dump?" All right, Liz. Thank you. Where can we find more details and design advice from you?
LizPowellDesign.com or on Instagram at Liz Powell Design.
We'll meet you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.